Hi guys, my name is Sean. I'm a houseplant enthusiast from Jakarta, Indonesia. In this episode, we're going to be looking at my dad's plants collection. And just so you guys know, I've done a video like this 2 years ago, but something's different this time. I'm actually going to say goodbye to this house because it was recently sold. So this is the last time I'm spending time in this house and the last time I got to show you some of his plants. The previous video was shot 2 years ago in standard definition, and today's video is going to be in 4K. And I've also earned some new knowledge about houseplants, and there's also some changes around his house that we're going to be looking at. So we're going to be looking at cycads first, and then some tropical foliage, a lot of aroids. Actually, my dad started out collecting these Encephalartos and some sansevierias in the beginning, and then during COVID, during the aroid craze, he started getting into some aroids as well as some other landscaping plants. As I left this home about 2 years ago, I also left some of my collection here, so I'm curious to see how they flourished in these past 2 years. I'm going to do also a house tour video on my personal channel, which I'm going to link up above. The channel name is called Only Sean, and in there I will discuss my history with this house and maybe a little bit about the reasons why we're letting it go. So let's just get this tour started. We're going to start off the tour in this little courtyard where we started off the last time as well. There used to be a home gym in there, but everything's moved out, and there are some cycads here. I don't know what the babies are, but this is some kind of palm. We have got the larger ones of these up in the front, so we're not going to spend too much time here. But these, the Encephalartos, they're kind of all over the courtyard. And Encephalartos, this is probably a juvenile size. We have some larger ones as well. I think my dad has moved them around because this used to look different from where it is now. But Encephalartos are the oldest genera in the world. So they're around 280 million years old. So they're as old as dinosaur era. And they have these amazing spiky type leaves to protect them from herbivores. And it is also known that they are resistant to wildfire. They are extremely slow growing plants that takes years and years to grow into a decent size. They can also be grown from seed, but each Encephalartos have a gender, so they're either male or female, and you do need them to bloom at the same time. So pollination is a really, really big challenge for this genera. But how beautiful they are. Look at that. And let's take a look at this one here. This is really, really stunning. Look at that. It's got this like bluish tinge on the leaves. Let's check it out. My gosh, all these spikes are pretty impressive to look at actually. This is a stunning plant, and that new shoot is coming out from down below. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, they do push off offsets, and you can separate them and grow them. These guys are endangered in the wild, so they're protected by CITES internationally. So people can't really trade for these plants freely or ship them around. I'm supposed to do a cycad tour in Taiwan because I'm leaving next week for Taiwan. And the person actually said no, because some of these plants are so rare and endangered, they did not want to get into any trouble to show these plants. But Summer Rain Oaks did a fantastic video at Nongnuch Garden with the Encephalartos. I'm going to link that video up above if you want to learn all about Encephalartos. That collection is amazing, and it was really, really discussed in much better details than I can ever do. So yeah, these are very, very endangered and very, very protected species, and not many people actually have them. Dion Idule is usually sold in a tiny single leaf cutting, but this one is already pretty huge. Look at that backdrop there with a bit of white wall. It's beautiful actually. And I can't remember what this one is, but we have them all around the house as well, at varying heights. I'm pretty sure this Encephalaros is the horridus. It's probably similar to the one that I just showed you in the beginning. They're just different size and shapes. This one's about my thigh height, and that one there is a little bit taller. My dad does propagate a little bit, so it has some multiples around, especially the baby ones. You can see there that there's some of these tiny little baby plants, and that one is putting out a new leaf. How cute is that? And they unroll and they become this over time. I actually did enjoy watching them unfurl and unroll. They look like feather, but then they're actually sharp and spiny rather than soft and fluffy like feather. So this is what this other courtyard looks like with that statue down the middle. I'm gonna miss this actually. I used to take this for granted because I would walk down the corridor every morning for breakfast and walk by these wonderful plants But I mentioned in my previous video that because this is my dad's plants, we tend to not find our parents' hobby cool or exciting. But yeah, I'm really gonna miss this. I hope the new owner takes care of this. I really do, because these are very, very precious plants. This is really, really stunning. If possible, I'll include the name on the screen, but I don't have all the species name. This one has very, very intricate curly leaves, if you look at it, and it's probably very old. This is stunning too. Look at that, let me get up close. It's got very delicate, I would say needle-like leaves on these. And these guys actually love full sun and they hate the rain. So it's actually rainy season now. And I know that sometimes my dad puts like a tent over them to cover them from the rain when it gets too extreme, especially the younger plants. But yeah, the care for this is actually not super easy. But they really, really like the desert-like conditions. And this one here has a form of its own too. Really, really beautiful. And we've got that last bit of Encephalartos around this section. I don't think there's that many species. I think a lot of them were just duplicates of the same ones. These are two conjoined, or yeah, they may be conjoined actually. How cute. Yeah, I see some of them are quite young, so maybe, I don't know, my dad has planted some of these young ones around. Let me come closer to this one because I wanted to show you what the young leaves look like. There, he's putting out these leaves. Look at how intricately crisscrossed that is down the middle. Really, really beautiful actually. This is very satisfying visually. And let me look around from the side. Precious. And these guys, again, they take a long time to grow. So when they do put out a shoot like this, it's really, really quite a treat. I wonder when else I'm going to be so close to these ancient plants. Maybe in a botanic garden or something in the future. Really gonna miss you guys. We're now in the front of the house. And there's some baby plants over there, but here is a row of that palm that we saw earlier. They come with these really, really fuzzy, I don't know if it's a stem or something, but it is super cute. Look at that. Very, very fluffy. And this is what it looks like coming from below it. Actually a very, very stunning plant, and I don't see them in trouble ever. I feel like these are probably pretty easy to care for here. I've never seen any one of them struggle. So yeah, and coming in, that's a study, and that right there, that's where it all began. That's my old bedroom. I'm gonna show some clip on the screen to show you what it looks like before. And I started out my gardening, filling this balcony with plants, and even at some point a shade cloth to protect the plants, and I learned so much here. And I'm feeling very, very grateful to this room and for my dad as well, because it's provided me this space to learn and discover this hobby. This wasn't here before. There's a Monstera and Epipremnum pinnatum. Apparently the Epipremnum is winning because it's climbed so much higher than the Monstera. Now there's a little front yard here that we never knew what to use it for. And I rarely come here, but there's usually a lot of mosquitoes here, especially in the evening. I used to grow an Anthurium magnificum here. I'm gonna link a video up above if you wanna see that video. A lot of Sansevierias here, Pinguiculas and such. And then there's some, I think, is this a baobab tree? It could be, I'm not sure. Some more palms over there. Some Encephalartos scattered all around. But I don't think this is the best conditions for it, because it's not getting the direct sunlight or the full sun that it really wants. And I have a feeling they're put on these mounds to prevent excess water from pooling, so that the water will actually run down a little bit more. And then yeah, I see some baby propagates. There used to be a lot more baby propagates over there, but I think my dad has moved some into the house. It's such a weird feeling to be filming this and to know that this is the last time I will be here. It's strange how time moves us, and nothing is permanent. I don't know if some of you guys remember, we did a video where I landscaped this area with my plants, and it's transformed now. It's completely changed. I left some of the plants here. Some of them have overgrown. It's spot, the Scindapsus, Silver Splash, Alocasia. Don't know which one this is. Maybe Longiloba, but it seems to have transformed a bit. I remember leaving behind a Longiloba here. Maybe this is it, but it was narrower before. This Calathea conchiana. A lot of Syngonium. As you can see, the Syngoniums are really taking over this space. They're such fascinating, robust plants. They can overgrow a space very quickly. This is a Kaempferia that a lot of people comment about. Yeah, there's more of these baby Alocasias. They're just showing up everywhere. The Longiloba, it looks like this. Ooh, something moved over there, it startled me. But this is I believe Homalomina. Oh man, this is weird being back here. It used to have a lot more color because I used to put a lot of my colorful plants here as well. So I'm gonna link that video up on the screen to show you what it looks like before. Oh man, just a lot of Syngoniums. They actually make a really, really beautiful ground cover. They actually look a little bit like the Caladium lindenii, although I'm not sure if it's still a Caladium now. It's probably reclassified into something else. That Podophyllum variegated. Nice to see you guys still here. And a lot of these Monsteras, Peace Lily. Hang on 1 minute. As I was editing this video, I noticed this Ramusartia vivipara growing amongst the foliage. I killed that plant really hard, and I know I saved some corms, but I don't know where I saved it. I basically gave up on it, and there it is. They are growing back. This is insane. I think I remember this guy. Let me see. Yeah, I remember having a bunch of these and then I left a few behind. So yeah, Philodendron 69686. Some Scindapsus turbii moonlight. I left a lot of Scindapsus behind, some Marantas as well. But yeah, some fond memories here. And I'm starting to suddenly miss my dogs because we used to like hang out here when I was styling the plants. My dogs would just be sitting around. And this is my dad's koi pond. So my dad would be sitting on this bench and my dogs would sometimes hang out with my dad. So this is my dad's koi fish. They're actually very friendly. And a tree here that has some Hoyas, because I remember putting some Hoyas here. Let's see how they turned out. That's the Macrophylla variegated. They're doing really well. Very happy here. And Australis Lisa, still here. Oh, they have taken over actually. What am I saying? Look at that. They're really, really taking over. Actually, the one that I brought to my house has died. So I'm glad that it's doing well here. I'm tempted to take a cutting, but maybe I should just leave them where they are happy now and really let them go and thrive under the new care of the new owner. Some staghorn fern, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, this was a lot smaller when I was living here. Some bromeliads. This is just so stunning. Yeah, this is doing really well. Look at that. Oh man, really tempted to bring this home. Really, really am. But they're so happy here, and I really don't want to take on any more plants. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to say goodbye to these guys and hope that they do well, continue to do well here. They've brought me so much joy, they've taught me so much. And for those of you guys, oh yeah, my dogs used to sit on that couch. It's really, really a bit spooky if you ask me to be here now. And I want to thank you guys for being here with me as well, and for me to be able to document this experience, because I may watch this video 5 to 10 years down the road and miss this house and the opportunities it provided me. This used to be my plant studio back there, especially I had a table here. I'm gonna show on the screen really quickly on how I used to set up this space. I used a shade cloth up above, and there's a lot of shelves in here that I actually built myself. And I did learn a lot about plant care in this area here. Very, very grateful. And this is one final look before I and this here next to the pool, this is where a lot of transformation actually happened. Now I don't want to walk along this because it's wet and probably slippery, so I'm going to come around the side of the pool. Again, if you want to see the full house tour video, it's going to be on my personal channel, Only Sean. Today we're only going to be looking at the plants. That Amedium Zippolianum has gotten huge. That Alocasia as well, really big. Monsteras. That's a Philodendron Dark Lord. That's a Monstera Adansonii. I remember it was like that height before, and now it's like gotten a lot taller and bigger. Really, really beautiful. It was so much more bare before, and now it's filled in really, really nicely. It's a Dracaena marginata tricolor, Philodendron giganteum, variegated. I think that's the Tomatophyllum Williamsi, and cordyline. I really love that pop of color that the cordyline has brought. I feel like there should have been a bit more colors here and there. Some bromeliads would be beautiful in the front here. But yeah, really, really enjoying this transformation. So the new house owner got really lucky with this. And yeah, I think Tomatophyllums, they can also take a bit more direct sunlight because this place is not shaded by any means. The Philodendron giganteum, I've also seen in a bit of direct sunlight. And there used to be a lot more plants here, so this is becoming a bit more sparse, this area. But I think a lot of the shorter plants, once they get growing, once they get big, they would look really pretty. This is actually my mom's dragon fruit. It's a mini dragon fruit that we actually repotted because it was so pot bound before. Glad to see it's still here. Tempted to take a cutting, but I don't think I have the space for it. And we used to film on this table with a lot of plants here. So when we have dinners or breakfast, we'll be looking at this table with this wonderful array of plants, just hanging out here. My massive Tomatophyllum used to live right in the centerpiece. This is a Tomatophyllum that I don't know what happened. It used to be large, like really big, and I think it did not like it here. Maybe it's too much water, but I think the main trunk died and all these babies started sprouting from the side. And this is a vase that we got from Bali. It's huge. And that, oh, hang on, let me look at this. This is our pineapple from the pineapple video. What happened to you? I saw a large pineapple at some point, and then I don't know what happened to it now. I see a tiny little pineapple. Did it shrink to this size because no one took it? I don't know. But you know what? Maybe they did. Maybe this is not the same pineapple, because I remember the same pineapple was much larger than this. This could be a different species of pineapple, because I remember I propagated quite a few of them in that video. Up there, there's a Ruselia. It's known as a firecracker plant. Sometimes it comes in this bright red, but I quite like the understated look of the white flowers, but they do fall everywhere. So when they are shedding or when they're dropping the flowers, you really need to have a gardener handy. If not, you won't be able to manage this plant. All right, coming up on this balcony, that's at Ruselia. You can see up here, and we can also look down below to see the, I don't know what you would call this. It's like a little garden area. There's that koi pond. Some of that Encephalartos down here, and we started the video in that corner before. And there is our bedrooms before. Ooh, I now see that there are some Encephalartos babies around here. I'm really hoping that my dad would be sensible enough to sell these off rather than handing it over to the new owners. I don't know if the owner is passionate about plants or know how to care for them. There's some more along there as well, because these plants are really, really precious and worth to conserve. Oh man, I used to vlog here as well. I used to sit down here, and I've done some videos over there as well. I don't know how many of you guys have actually seen me vlog from this house. A lot has changed in 2 years. And that tree is where Josie was buried under, And then later on, Gia was buried here. And for those of you who are new to the channel, those are my dogs. They used to make appearance in some of my videos and I used to yell at them. But yeah, I hope that these two really wonderful souls will look over the house and the new owners, protect them. If you believe in that kind of stuff, I don't. I'm an atheist, I don't believe in that kind of stuff, but it's such a nice thought. So this tree provide beautiful shade to the plants below it, and this has transformed a lot. In fact, my dad made a request for me to film this, which is something that he doesn't do very often. As we're letting go of the house, he said, "Sean, come over, we've got this wonderful landscape area here," which is really quite wonderful, I must say. It used to be a lot messier than this, and now it's so organized, and there's even like a line, like a little trench area here. Syngoniums, I see some, I think this is the Anthurium magnificum that I left behind, but it is buried under the other plants. A lot of Monstera deliciosas, that orchid, I remember leaving it here. Staghorn fern, some Syngoniums, and this is the Rhaphidophora pertusa, if I'm not wrong. That Apopremnum aureum just taking off. That Dracaena white aspen, I used to have a video on how to propagate this. I turned it into 3 plants. So my dad has one, my mom has one, and I have one. And this is the one that stuck around with my dad. Philodendron Mayois, gorgeous. Philodendron Lynette, Dieffenbachia, and some variegated bamboo. I do not even remember that we had those, but yeah, we did. Just a lot of monsteras here, I guess. Calatheas in bloom, Sansevierias down below, and this is what it looks like now. So much more organized. Proud of you, Dad. Proud of you. And then you should come around, more Calatheas over here. Yeah, and Josie's in there somewhere, providing nutrient for the plant, maybe living on here. Oh man, I'm absorbing this ambience too. Feeling very sentimental actually. Immense gratitude as well. I used to take all of these for granted. I think these are the same type of plants, just laid out differently as before. Some chili, Calatheas. Oh man. This is a philodendron, I don't know what this is. Yeah. I think this is the non-variegated caramel marble maybe, I don't know. More of that Giganteum variegated. Very underrated plant. They actually have very good variegation, but maybe because they're such fast growers, they become very cheap and affordable, so they're used widely in landscaping. But I'm sure it used to be rare at some point, probably. A lot of our rare variegated plants now will end up becoming quite affordable in the future. Martianum. Cute, they look like they're so chubby now. Oh my gosh, and there's a lot of different Calatheas. They do spread rhizomes in the soil and multiply, so they become a large clump usually. Like that. They love living on trees like this. They can take in nutrients, they got this wonderful airflow, this beautiful bright shade, and when the conditions are right and they set spores, the spores will disperse all around and then end up on other trees. All right, with that being said, I think I'm gonna conclude the tour. I think we've seen nearly everything here. Thank you, Dad, for this opportunity and for enabling me to learn and to be able to share what I've learned with a worldwide audience. Thank you guys for sticking around, from watching this channel. It really means a lot to me. And yeah, I'm feeling immense gratitude and sadness, and also happiness, because good things to come. So sending positive energy out there to the universe. Much love. See you in the next one. I'm back here at night. We're actually handing over the house tomorrow. So this is what the area looks like at night, beautifully lit up. I'm gonna show you the rest of the house at night. So yeah, if you stick around to the end of my videos, I'm going to be starting to insert videos, bonus clips that are interesting. If you hear farting noise, it's because I'm wearing these rubbery slippers. So sometimes when I'm making a step, it does sound like I'm farting along the way. But this is what it looks like at night. I'm gonna go out in a little bit. So if you wanna enjoy some interesting bonus contents, bloopers, and things like that, stick around. It'll also help the algorithm of my YouTube channel if people watch my videos till the very end. I'm gonna miss this actually because my dogs used to run out to this side to greet me because I used to gym at home around here during the pandemic. So my dogs will be sitting here watching me do my workout. And we are outside. Oh boy, it's my last night here in this house. My sister's here as well, so we're gonna drink one more last time. And let me see if I can zoom out better. Yeah, this is a, what do you call this? A wide-angled lens. It's very peaceful and still tonight. It rained a little bit earlier. Let me zoom back out. I used to have a lot of plants grown under here. It is a perfect setup and the plants grew so well because they used to get shade from this tree, so they get really strong, bright indirect light all day, and at night they get this amazing light. So yeah, there's that, and the cycads look really good when they're lit up. And then this. Finally, let's go back out to the courtyard. This is where we started to film. And yeah, our living room. So again, there's a full house tour video. If you check out my personal channel, the link is on the video description for this video. So you can see the entire house and maybe a little bit more personal stories behind the house. One last thing. Check it out, the trees where my dogs were buried. I actually don't come down here a lot when I used to live here, so it's really surreal to be here filming it one last time. Yeah, that's Gia and that's Josie. I guess with that being said, I shall bid you farewell. A lot of good videos are going to happen in the next few weeks. In Singapore, in Taiwan, and in Japan. I'll be doing a lot of traveling. With that being said, I guess I'm gonna bid you farewell for real this time. Take care now, guys.